Welcome back, YouTube, to the NHL 31 for 31 series. I am Swepsy, and I will be joined by my two buddies, 418 Gaming and TILTEDJT. In this 31 for 31 series, we will take a look at each team individually, going over last year's results, giving our thoughts on the upcoming season, and some key players that might have a breakout year. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It helps out a great deal. I'll see you out there. We tasked ourselves with coming up with one word to describe each team. So if you guys want to go ahead and think of just... Listen, okay. Off the top, okay? Off the top.
I got one.
It's off the top.
I got one.
So, describe the Anaheim Ducks in one word, fellas.
Trash.
Okay, good one. So, yeah, you guys want to go over stats from 2018?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, first off, I will say, I actually thought just by memory that they finished dead last in the West, which wasn't the case.
No. Hard to believe, huh?
Yeah, with the way they played and the way that they were, especially on the road. Oh boy, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to do team stats or player stats?
No, we'll do team first. We'll do that.
All right.
Right.
Well, I think one of the biggest things for them last year was they were 31st in the league in scoring. And when you got guys like Getzlaf, Perry, Kessler, even though he was injured for most of the year,
Silverberg,
that just can't happen.
Yeah.
And 24th on the power play, that's way too low. When you have star power like that with Fowler on the back end and Lindholm, that's way too low.
Yeah. They actually, surprisingly, they have a good goalie in Gibson. He's fucking sees like 50 shots a night.
Goaltending is one of those one of those positions they are not worried about whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right?
So
but even their goalies underperformed last year. Like even
but I think Gibson honestly did everything he could with the team that he had in front of him last year.
I guess so, yeah.
Because if you watch some of their games, like he's standing on his head.
Finished with 80 points. Okay, I mean, let's face it, you have to at least be like 95 to 100 points to even have a sniff at the playoffs. So you're 15 to 20 points out there. 21st in goals against. Like, in no aspect of their game were they even close to being, the team that they were 2-3 years ago. 100 points, 109 point seasons. They're getting way too old. They're too slow. They got to inject some youth into it, and I think that's what we're going to see this year. Their away record, Larry, you brought it up, 16-23. I know home field or home arena advantage like plays a part, but you got to find a way to at least get like 20 wins on the road. Power play, 17%, 24th in the league. Their PK, 79%, just under the 20th mark there. They're finished at 19.
I just want to add something.
Yeah.
I thought Kessler missed a bunch of games last year. He only missed 22 games. He played 60 games last year.
What?
Yeah.
And he only had 8 points.
Yeah.
Oh, tough.
Him and Perry were just brutal.
Yeah, him and Perry. I mean,
well, Perry missed
obviously
the whole
now
season,
Perry played. What did he play? He played 31. So he played.
He got hurt in preseason, right? With the MCL or whatever it was.
Yeah. But Kessler, I did not even know he played that many games. I thought he played way less.
But he was playing injured. I know that, right?
Injured, yeah,
so now he's getting his he got surgery, I believe, in the summer. So
yeah, he's actually retired now. He's retired because of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I dug up a quick stat for basically to summarize their entire season. They started off the season, I think they were like 11-6. And then going into the month of January, they had 12 straight losses. Then they won 2, lost another 7. They flip-flop back and forth. In 30 games between January and February, they lost 25.
Oh, Jesus. That's tough.
Tough.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of at a loss when it comes to the Ducks, just because they've always been a powerhouse out west, and it was just they were always amongst like the top teams that you figure they'd be a contender every playoffs, and to see them slip so much in such a short span of time, and now all their star players, slipping out of the spotlight.
Yeah, but you gotta look as well when they were at the top of their peak, right? Who was carrying that team? You had Getzlaf, you had Perry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kessler, and now seeing those guys have such a steep downfall over the course of the last year or so.
Mhm.
Like now they just signed Adam Henrique to like a 5-year extension, didn't they?
Yeah.
And like what? He's the
Yeah.
new like he's the gonna
He's their new
take
second
over.
line center, and then eventually take over, I suppose. But even
Raquel
him,
and
he's not that
Silverberg?
young, right? He's
No,
not that
that's it. That's it. And like Silverberg and Raquel, I think underperformed for who they are. I think Silverberg is a hell of a player. Guy finishes with 24 tucks. He was the leading scorer on their team.
Yeah, that's tough.
24 tucks, dude. Like they don't have any other 20 goal scorer.
And Getzlaf was their best point producer and only finished with 48. Are you kidding me? 40. I mean, he was injured for I think 20 to like 25 games last year.
Yeah,
Yo.
he missed about they had 19 games or 15 games.
I will say though, only one guy played all 82.
Josh Manson?
Adam
Adam
Henry.
Henry.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Looking at where they finished and the other teams that they're going to be contending against for even a wild card spot, I personally don't believe they're going to be in the playoffs again. I do think they'll have a better year. They'll be a bubble team. But you look at Chicago, I think they're only going to be... They're going to be even tougher to play with now that they finally have their number one goalie back, or at least he's trying to be there. They also brought in Lehner, who will, if Crawford can't go every night, Lehner can get the job done. Minnesota, I don't think will be that good, but then you have in the other division, Colorado, Dallas, St. Louis, Winnipeg, Nashville. Like that right there already
Well,
is
that's
pretty
all-
much
that's all
eating
the
up.
West- That's all the Central.
Exactly, so
Dude, I don't.
In the Pacific, I think it's pretty well locked in. Calgary, San Jose, Vegas, top
Yeah.
three.
yeah.
But
Unless
even
there's
then,
like
I
a
could see-
surprise.
I could see Arizona making like another late push again, because if you look back at last year, they were riding hot up until the playoffs, and then in the last 10 games,
Yeah.
they just fell apart and they missed the playoffs by.
Thing
Yeah.
is, I don't see
or
any
7
of those 8 teams dropping out of the playoffs.
No, me neither.
I don't think any of them are giving up their spot. And if one does, I think, like you said, you got Arizona coming up. Minnesota's a trash, like a dumpster fire because of their whole GM situation.
Yeah.
They made some horrible trades. They're going to be one of the few that go downwards. But like I
Even
think
from last in
I
their-
think Edmonton's going to push for a playoff spot. So I don't know, man. I think they're going to finish at the same.
Did you just
same
throw
spot.
Edmonton? into a playoff
We've said that like
I
3
did.
years in a row now.
I'm a believer that this year they get it done.
This is it. This is the one.
the year.
I don't know.
If we just base it off of what we've seen from them, they've gone down so quickly, and they haven't necessarily started much of a rebuild just because of how quickly their downfall happened. So
Yeah.
I think they're really early on in the process, and I think it's going to take them like this entire season just to kind of go
Yeah.
back towards the upward trend. So I don't think it's until next off season that we'll see any changes.
Yep. You have to be patient.
Mhm.
That's for sure. So,
All right. Well,
is that it for remarks? You guys good?
Guys have players to watch or
Yeah.
to look out for, or
You kind of mentioned a couple of them. I just wanted to bring up the Comtois guy. They have him on daily faceoff as I think their number 2 left winger. I think if he can have a great year, it'll at least take some of the pressure off the top line of Raquel, Getzlaf, and Silverberg, I think it is. Let him develop on the second line. Have them, distribute some of their goal scoring, because last year it was basically one line. That was it. And if they didn't score, it was a 5-0 game, 4-0 game. So for me, it's Max Comtois.
I think I had this guy last year, to be honest, but both Raquel and Silverberg to me, they're such important guys on the team, and they both underperformed last year, but they're so quick and they're so talented, and I think Anaheim was always known as a bit of a slower team in general, who they brought the weight and the strength to their game, but the speed was always kind of lacking with the big guys like Perry Getzlaf. So now having Raquel and Silverberg there, if they can up their game and get, have both of them be up in the mid-20s to the low 30s in terms of goals, then they might actually have a chance at doing something with their season. But otherwise, I'd say forget it.
yeah, I think honestly for me, I'm looking at a guy like Troy Perry. He's got all this hype coming out from the U.S. program and all that. I think he really could have a breakout season this year. I'm not saying like 30 goals by any stretch of the matter, but I think he could get, if he gets like 22, 23 goals this year, and he can maybe bury like 50 points, 60 points, I'd call that a success for him. And I mean, you got to start looking at this young core, right? They're the ones that are going to be leading the charge after this year. You know,
Yeah,
I don't see Getzlaf. I don't see Getzlaf even maybe sticking around this year. I think I don't know what his deal is. I could see him maybe going for like a rental. I don't know, is his deal up? I don't know what his contract's at, but I could see an older guy like that maybe going on the move, trying to get a better opportunity, you know, especially if he sees all these young kids. Maybe he won't want to stick around for.
Well, that and even the team might want to move him. You know?
Right, yeah, if the team wants to clear up some cap space.
Yeah, he's a UFA in 2021.
So he's got one more year.
One more year, so you could be one of those like Eric Carlson kind of rentals, you know. With
Dude, he's making 8.2 now and 6 the year after.
Right.
So 2021-22 is when he's a UFA. So that's a big cap hit, man. But
yeah,
I don't know many playoff teams that are pushing that are in their playoff push that can afford a guy like that. But
maybe Anaheim
dumps
keeps
cap.
4. You know, keeps
maybe.
half or something.
Anaheim holds some cap.
Yeah, that's the only way they do that, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
so before we go, I just want to thank our sponsor. It is brought to you by Squatty Potty. Are you in pain when dropping the kids off at the pool? Cutting rope is too intense? I'm talking about shitting. Squatty Potty's unique design helps maintain a more natural squatting position by raising your knees. Get yours today at Walmart.
They're not a sponsor. We're not sponsored.
100%.